Andbox straight out the gate. Set up standard here. Killjoy over towards B main, but also the focal point over inside of A for the time being. There's some smokes down now as they try to find some space on site, but this is acting fast in the pistol round. Montezori's worked his way out of sight. He's got a nice shot working for Tree, but Nitro through the smoke claims two of his own. No spike control now as they're going to need to try and get that down. No true rotation from the KJs just yet either.
Boy with some good forward positioning, but there's still a problem over by the door lever here. Boy has to try and spot it out. He finds it, it's Nitro, and he goes down, but an immediate response is found from Hiko, and the jump shot from the Classic as well to take out Boy, bringing this down into a 1v1. Taking a look at Vice here. Trying to maintain control over the situation, but no, Hiko's too quick, immediately jumps out with the Ghost Clutch there to shut things down. A 3K for him on the pistol and 100 Thieves get off to a booming start.
Fantastic opening there for 100 Thieves, and already we see the aggressive plays from Andbox with this ice wall coming out on the A site. We hadn't seen them use this in the prior matchups in that fashion, but I still really liked what they were going for. Try to cut off the tree angle, focus on health, focus on Raptors, see what you can get done through that manner.
Take a look at the response working its way in here now from Andbox. We are going to see some light investments, nothing crazy though, and that aligns pretty well. Andbox, for those who caught the previous series against Noble, you'll know that pistols definitely aren't the strong suit for Andbox. Them dropping that initial round, not going to be too much of a surprise. It's how they'll look to evolve, especially past round 3, that we really want to focus on here. But the second round, still going to try to play these slow, specifically towards B main. The Aldrone will work its way in, spot out Ye, get a tag onto him as well. So it's going to force him back. Seems to have killed most of the aggression, but maybe not. We've got a couple players re-entering into main now and starting to lurk their way in, and this is happening at a good time as Asuna is potentially being caught moving away as well. However, looking at Andbox here, the possibilities are still open. You see pressure working its way into Cat 2, Steel shutting down both of those players immediately, though, as Seb and Boy get knocked out without too much of an issue. Mata has much better luck over here at the B main entry point as he's able to take down Nitro.
It's been a great anti-eco so far from 100 Thieves. Andbox simply can't find the frags. Able to take down Nitro, and that'll do some semblance of damage to the economy, but as long as 100 Thieves are able to clean up the rest of these frags, it should be fairly straightforward. Vice works his way out. He'll find another one for his troubles, but Hiko, once again, quick to the trigger, seals the deal in that second round.
Business as usual here within our first 2 rounds. Now it's time to see what Andbox have to show us. Big investments working their way in. Obviously, we'll have the slight bonus investment here from 100 Thieves. Even the players that are forced to rebuy don't look like they're going to super aggressively buy down here, going for full kits inside of this one. So they'll obviously be in grid straights for the 4th round should they end up dropping this bonus we'll have in front of them here. Important to note, guys, we are still on 2.05 right now. That means the Bucky nerf has not taken effect as of yet here, and we're still more than likely going to see quite a bit of prevalence in that play.
On the opening to the rifle round here, the buy round now for both of these teams. 100 Thieves obviously a little worse for wear, winning those 2 initial rounds. So they're going to have some Spectres as well as a Bulldog along for the ride. We'll see how this works out for them. But still going to have Steel here on the B site. Now a boost for Andbox as they're trying to find some pressure on the back end, but 100 Thieves giving them nothing. Steel able to kill to run it back. Still has pressure for main as they're finally crossing in. The hot hands with a nice play, able to assist Jay cleaning up that space, and they have full control of B as the spike starts to go down.
Utility just too overwhelming for Steel and no chance to back out of there either, so just has to take the death in kind. At least was able to counter out the run it back, but unfortunately only the ult being taken down for his troubles on the inside of Hut there. Seb with a nice pick against Asuna as the rest of 100 Thieves try to rotate their way back in. Nitro will find a good opener, but the problem is Mata still has control of the market stairs and now the actual pit stairs here too, as he's going to try to rotate himself in a position to shut down Nitro. We'll get it done. There's a good exchange from Hiko, but it matters not. 3 more players from Andbox still up, ready to trade that, and it'll be Ye to get the final kill as Andbox jump on the board here on 100 Thieves' bonus round.
Solid stuff from Andbox. I mean, everything obviously going off without a hitch, along with the ice boost to cover the back of B and the flood towards Boathouse. I mean, you gotta love a lot of the things that went on here for Andbox. 100 Thieves never really having a chance, just too much pressure. But we'll have to see once they're able to get their own buy around, what they're able to produce. I think that just the limitation inside of the firearms here really held them back from what they wanted to do.
A good change up on the last second there on the buys for 100 Thieves. So Steel's actually not going to be in the greatest position. He'll end up having to go all the way down towards a Bucky. I think while some other players going to be missing utility here too, as you can see most notably on Asuna there. But on defense shouldn't be the end of the world. As you can see, he still has great capability to swing out into the open there. Takes down his doppelganger on the other side. Mata going down first in this round, but it's all just poking for info at this point. They do have the spike on that side of the map, but it seems that the players over here at A main have made a lot more forward momentum, having the peek into main, trying to bait something out from Ethan or another member of 100 Thieves on the site, but so far 100 Thieves not taking the bait on that, and all this posturing, just giving time for Steel to, I'll do that. Wrap around the corner, get a quick headshot off onto Boy. Asuna shuts down the other player on the B side of the map too, but Steel doesn't necessarily expect there to be a second player holding at main, so Seb is going to be able to at least get the trade.
It's been a great round so far from 100 Thieves as he continued to shut down Andbox every step of the way. No one able to make it through either mains on either side of the map. Instead, they've now defaulted just a mid take, trying to work their way up. And I really hope that you guys can see, because I cannot.
Yeah, we'll work to get that real quick, and there we go. Just a momentary glitch, but we're all good. We're back now, folks. With 20 seconds left, couldn't have come back at a better time either. 100 Thieves looking to seal the deal on their third round here. Andbox trying to vie for something, but with 15 seconds left, this is going to be a tough push, and more importantly, a rushed push, where mistakes are often made here. Paranoia coming out from Nitro. Not really a winner here. He's not going to be able to find full contact, but at least he gets the angle advantage. They're traded out by Vice. Really no time left. Not going to be able to get that spike down on the ground. We'll have to take the L and try to stay alive here. Even that, not possible. Asuna going to be able to take him down. 100 Thieves reassert control over the match on their rebuy.
That's the early contacts right now from Andbox, just not working into their favor. Asuna too good inside of B main for the time being. We'll see if they can try and work their way around this, but as of right now, quite difficult to try and combat.
And those Buckies still coming into effect due to the fact that we are on 2.05 here, but a great hold from 100 Thieves as they pick up their third round overall here, and that's going to put Andbox on pretty much an immediate eco round. We can see it's light buy. Some players not even upgrading from their classics, and they will be only able to buy it towards utility, but despite that, winning the official trade over at B main, a 2-for-1 trade back there. Steel and Ethan both going down. You're still going to have Nitro deep in the site and some aggression coming out there for Pico. The Hunter's Fury netting him one pick. We've got Asuna playing aggressively as well. And that's going to be able to line them up one more frag here. So 100 Thieves looking to quickly get aggressive to reassert control over the situation. And it seems that that plan has worked. Seb, though, this lurk right up on the Hiko, and he doesn't even suspect it. Shuts him down. That's full mid control suddenly in the hands of Andbox. But a challenger now approaching from the mid gates here. Asuna ready to try and shut it down. He's got to be careful. Seb now having an upgraded weapon to work with here. So it'll be Phantom V, Phantom Boy. Still down on a classic and without much HP to bargain with here either. Will have to try his best to stay alive and work into this site.
Cover going out.
This round's already a win for Andbox in their book. Eco round, able to get a rifle out as well as 2 ults away from 100 Thieves. This is so big for them. They still have an opportunity to win it as well. Working through main gates, Asuna here.
Left.
Oh, the trigger discipline, the big brain. He knows they're both here. He lines it up, and it's 2 quick shots. Asuna seals it up once again here in round 5.
Important to note, though, as Stokes had mentioned, that still a lot of damage being done. A lot of rebuy is going to be forced out here. At least in Hiko's case, bringing him down to a point where he's actually going to probably end up needing a drop from one of his teammates here. Only 2,700 after the shield purchase, so definitely putting a dent. Not going to completely destroy them, obviously, as we'll still be going into a full gun round here on the 5th, but putting them in a much better position to be immediately broken if Andbox finds repeated success on the upcoming round here. But it's been tough so far. 100 Thieves have been finding advantages very often in the early rounds. Some aggression from Asuna as an example towards B main. We're going to see him and Hiko pull off the same thing, it looks like, back at A main this time as well. We have another player coming in to assist on that too, but not getting much in terms of sound intel or anything from the other side of this one. They obviously don't want to push into it if they'll leave themselves overexposed. They're waiting for the Paranoia assist to come in from Nitro back at Tree also. Seb's smart about that, though. Oh, it's like it's Ping, that is, anyway, here, where he's now going to be revealed. Oh, and despite the Paranoia going out, Ethan able to dodge it, finding the pick on Seb regardless. And 100 Thieves really asserting control over the site. Andbox is trying to move their way in on Cat to make up for this, but at the same time, you still have window and garden control really well asserted for 100 Thieves. That also fails, bringing it all down to Vice.
Oh, they fell right into the trap 100 Thieves had laid for them. 4 people on A's site with the Killjoy by her lonesome on B for 100 Thieves, and it works out for them. Even though we saw the spike over towards B main, they still try to swing it back, but before KJ can even cross through her own spawn, all of Vice's friends are dead. He's now alone, has to try and figure this one out. He's back towards mid after rotating back over towards B lobby area, working his way onto tree now, and he's got plenty of utility to try and fight a lot of these different situations. But the issue right now, obviously, the man advantage. Vice wants to try and get these frags, obviously, force as many rebuys as possible, but still can't get it done. Hiko, 100 Thieves, on fire right now.
A real winning angle for Vice to try to play off of there to re-entry into the A site. So he'll go down as expected there. 100 Thieves continue to reassert control. Take a look at how this all started to downtrend, unfortunately, as that push towards the A main angle ended up working out brilliantly for 100 Thieves, taking full control there. Andbox trying to compensate by really putting the pressure onto the inside of Cat, thinking that those A main players would still be out, potentially be forced into a retake position, but wasn't exactly the case. Still had threats inside of Garden and other areas near the site, and they were able to deal with the threat just fine. More aggression coming out from 100 Thieves here. Asuna immediately swinging to the inside of main over on the B site, putting the hot hands down too to keep any aggressive repeats from happening towards him, and also getting the one-way assist from his teammates Omen.
They've been using quite a few times, but this time Asuna gonna get aggressive once again with the curveball. Takes down Mata. Overstaying is welcome inside of B main, and it'll be the first blood to 100 Thieves back pocket once again. Just way too dominant inside of the early round.
Ye and the rest of Andbox very grouped up in mid right now, more than likely favoring an A take at this point, as we can see that pressure building up onto Cat, the large majority of them backing up to start working their way over towards A main. So it's primarily just going to be Seb trying to make a play towards Cat, and even he's hesitant for obvious reasons, as he'll need to wait for the rest of his teammates to get in a position closer towards main. They'll be in that spot right now. Lockdown is available here for Vice. That's not it, too. They've got pretty much all of their ults as they get ready to move up to the point here. I'm going to use any of them, though, is the question. Probably not, considering that we're sitting on the eco. That's going to be important to keep in mind for the upcoming round, as Ethan starts to shut down this overall take. Ye, the first to fall, other players trying to trade it, but just not happening. Seb, the only player to find success over here towards Cat, and now the only player left alive in what is now a 1v4.
Seb getting aggressive, and it's not going to work out for him. Not able to keep the rifle or his life, and 100 Thieves 6-1 right now. Very strong round there, but that's what we expected, given the eco. Obviously, Andbox having to stack and try and play for as many trades as they can get their hands on, but given the circumstances as of right now, I mean, it's not looking too good if you're Andbox. Economy in the drain. They're going to go for rifles, obviously, on this round, but if they end up losing, what is it worth? I mean, they're going to have to go back to the eco, and 100 Thieves will continue this steamroll. Very treacherous situation for them right now.
Andbox sitting in a very, very dangerous position indeed. The buy seeming to not help them out that much, failing to make impact, especially when it comes to these first 30 seconds of the round here. So much aggression from 100 Thieves, and Andbox seems to have no choice but to bow down to it. Nice curveball coming out. Mata there to try and force back the A main pressure from Ethan, but at the same time, he'll just shut down Barrier Orb. We are going to see the lockdown work its way in here. It'll be held back for a couple of seconds, but that's okay. They need to wait out the time slightly on this defender, on this Killjoy anyway. At the same time, lockdown going to be countered. We'll have a Hunter's Fury come out from the attackers in order to deal with that. Mata gets the entry onto site here too, and they'll actually detain a player still too close to the site as well. Their plant's going to go down without much of an issue. 100 Thieves need to play for retake here.
Spike now planted, an opportunity, but the flank already covered. Asuna with no chance to try and get that to go off. So now it's down to the rest of 100 Thieves. Hiko, Nitro, and Ethan as they reclaim top space. Actually attempt to work their way onto the site, but it's going to be the split take instead. Still worried about Tree, and well, should be. You need to worry about that ice wall, but the trades already ensue. Hiko with one, but boy, able to pick up another. It's all down to Hiko, and finally, Andbox stand up with a nice execute onto A.
Too much control over the situation there. The barrier orb working its way down to cover off the closable door. And once that had gone down there, 100 Thieves trying to work their way out primarily from heaven, but just couldn't make the shots happen. And as a result of that, Andbox were able to solidify a very solid second round for themselves here as we get ready to move into the ninth. Getting close to the end of the half here. At the same time, Andbox trying to wean down that money pool for 100 Thieves. Still going to be looking strong here as we head into the next one, though. All full rifles.
Andbox have to continue to roll these rounds together. As you said, they need to do damage to this economy. An attempt to back 100 Thieves off, but it all starts at this moment. They finally got the rifle round. They're equal here. A curveball out is more pressure from 100 Thieves into B main, and yet again, it works in their favor. 2 big frags, as Seb is now the lone man over here on side of B. But it seems as though ult has worked out. Oh, actually, no. Asuna with some info, but he doesn't know exactly where he is. Seb gets one from Boathouse, and he's got strong pressure. Now 100 Thieves actually lacking in the defensive department. It's only Ethan on site for B.
Oh, no.
Needs help from his teammates. Turret out, and he's getting flooded. Oh, no. It's full B control now for Andbox. 100 Thieves have to risk the retake.
The scan so fatal there as it allowed Seb to spam in from the back of the hut. Massive damage going on to him, and the only real player that can stop this plant from going down, eliminated without able to trade out too much damage in the process here. See though, Steel with a nice re-entry. Vice trying to play aggressively, pays the price for it as he's able to eliminate him. Rest of the team working their way in. Some more spam coming out, and I think it does significant damage to Boy in the process here as well. Burt will go down, smoke over it. Still managed to get a lock on one of the players though, and they'll execute upon that. Steel trying to work his way in, but no. Seb gets the better of him, but before going down, Steel was able to grab Boy. Nitro though, immediately destroying Seb. Should leave enough time for the defuse here, as 100 Thieves are going to pick up their 7th.
I'm always down for some omen on omen violence. Some great stuff there from Nitro, but almost a star-studded play from Seb. An ult at the last second gets him into Boathouse, and he's able to actually get them a spike down. Now, obviously they did end up losing that round, but overall, doing some harm to 100 Thieves and still making money off that plant, it's not the worst thing in the world, but 100 Thieves definitely still in the lead when it comes to the series.
Much closer for Andbox. Once again, that B main pressure just constantly getting the better of them from Asuna as well as Ethan here. We're going to have to see if they can finally get the better of that one. Slow orb immediately going down will stop any immediate aggression to work its way out there from Andbox. But you'll notice a bit of restraint here on the curveball coming in from Asuna. Trying to work their way forward. A bit of an awkward timing for both teams, and ultimately Mata finally going to come out on top of this engagement. That's a big deal here. Normally Andbox has been on the losing end of this initial duel. Mata's going to be able to move in. Ye will support from that top window as he's going to self-boost himself up with the barrier orb. However, no one's been able to check stairs as a result of this. Run it back expires. He might have got a quick glimpse of Hiko before it goes down, but Hiko will reveal himself anyway. Steel has the cutoff by spawn route, but still, Mata on point here, immediately trading out these kills and keeping himself in the fight.
Well, there's a Manu one on site to lock it all down. It's got to be Hiko. He goes for the second, but it's Mata for 4 instead. Throws down the hot hands, and it's Seb to seal the deal. Mata, what a play. And what an ult exchange from Andbox as well. They get the fantastic exchange inside of B main for the first time on offense. And how do they translate that? Well, it's got to be with the run it back and the res from Sage. Some fantastic stuff once again coming from these guys to actually translate that in not only a plant, but a round win. That's exactly what they needed to get the ball rolling.
Some great stuff from Mata. They're finally coming alive when it comes to the early round duel, specifically versus Asuna, and trying to gather control over the early round engagements. Now it's time to see if they can keep that up here, of course. 100 Thieves not going to take that loss lightly, and immediately we're going to see a shift of positions. Asuna now playing over on Cat, trying to get aggressive in mid instead of the usual B main position that he's been playing up until this point.
Well, Andbox once again at the gates of B. Attempting to work their way in. Spike still all the way in spawn, so not necessarily putting themselves in the riskiest position just yet. But speaking of risk, 100 Thieves risk it all, and it's actually not going the way that they wanted it to. Asuna pushes his way all the way up Cats. Andbox lie with open arms right at the end of it. Nice opening for them, especially on such a high-power fragger for this squad.
Steel waiting for the cutoff here once again, and he might just get it. Ye walking right into his crosshairs here. Might have an opportunity for a second as well because of the unrestricted mid control. He can just hyper-focus on this angle with very little worry in the world. Mata, in the meanwhile, still trying to play for some type of positioning on the inside of the B site, but he's alone, waiting for rotates to work their way over. Steel again, man. Lined up, but Boy apparently has got the better line, as he's going to be able to take down Steel instead, regaining that mid control for Andbox here as soon as the dart is going to fade away.
And the B execute finally comes out, but Hiko with the Hunter's Fury doesn't actually find anybody. Instead, it's Boy and Mata who execute on this site. Not only take out Hiko in the back spawn, but also start the setup for the plant. Nitro on stairs, able to find one. Knows where the spike went down as well. He's good for 2. Not able to seal it out just yet. Goes for the smoke. Immediately starts to try and get rid of this. Spike goes for the defuse, but the Hunter's Fury now inside of this 1 versus 1. Low HP, has to try and get away from the shock dart, but boy, just that much better on the bounce. The geometry class is really working out in his favor.
Boy, just playing that out so well right there, solidifying a very much needed round for Andbox, trying to work their way back into this half and solidify a solid scoreline before we get to halftime, which is coming up very, very soon here indeed. Take a look here at Nitro as well. Really on point when it comes to the re-entry, specifically into this site here on B. Has been finding multiple multi-frags, but at the same time, we've got a couple members of Andbox popping off here. Boy having himself quite the round, and that's right after Mata nearly got himself an ace as well, picking up a 4K a couple rounds back.
Yeah, this feels like a completely different Andbox as to what we watched a couple days ago up against Noble, where we saw Ye really popping off and Mata not having the greatest of days. But today does indeed seem to be his day as he continues to find these frags for this squad and open up a lot of different avenues. This time around, though, Andbox seemingly want B control. Killjoy gonna have the spike for this one, but mostly strung along the entire map. Could possibly still go for an A push here as Ye's worked his way up catwalk, but nothing favored just yet. Finally, action starts to go off. Mata with yet another frag inside of B main.
The Mata Asuna saga continues here in Mata's favor after favoring Asuna for so much of this matchup here. Seems to have flipped quite a bit. Mata making a serious impact in the early round, reversing their fate from earlier in the half. Aldrin working its way out is not going to check the back corner, but there's usually an assumed player to be back there anyway, so likely will be covered. The run it back trying to be used here as an aggressive swing is played on the inside of Cat in a Tree, but it's countered pretty much immediately by Steel's utility. So he's actually going to get aggressive, swings out. He's able to catch Mata unawares. Yay, immediately there for the exchange. A lot of the lockdowns get volleyed back and forth there. No one actually getting a hit by it. So Ethan still going to be able to play aggressively from up on top of the rafters box. Countered by Boy, however, and he's going to continue his rampage as he shuts down another kill here for his team. And overall, closes out on the round.
So Andbox claw back into this one. Wasn't really expecting that when we were at the 6-1 score line, but 7-4 as of right now, and almost 7-5. Assuming that was the last one right there, but we'll have to see in just a split second as we roll you guys through what I'm assuming is all of this half's action, and we had quite a bit of it, as you can see. As you were talking about earlier, the saga between Mata and Asuna, I want to see how that, it actually works its way through once they switch sides. Are they both going to still try and fight each other in B main? Like, where are these guys going?
It's going to be interesting to see how the second half plays out here as well. It's 100Thieves attack, and I'm very curious to see how this pans out. Andbox are known for playing a very aggressive playstyle, and 100Thieves had issues dealing with that, specifically during Masters, because Gen G was bringing something similar to the table. So I'm curious if Andbox is going to be able to bring that aggressive playstyle to the table, specifically against 100Thieves. Obviously, the individual caliber leveling itself up a little bit compared to Noble, their previous opponent.
100Thieves still seemingly sticking to the game plan. Still have Nitro and Hiko over inside of A lobby. Traditionally what we see when they try to start off these offenses. Owl Drone out now as he really needs some intel on the location of these people, but oh no, Hiko with a huge misread here. Doesn't know that someone's inside of Wine, and he's able to get one. Mata with the curveball now. Possibility to get two, but oh no, the swarm just too strong for KJ.
Yeah, Steel on point with these nano swarms here, fending off multiple players. We saw it in the previous round. We're going to see it again here to deal with the threat in the back main Cubby. Nice playing up close and personal here on contact from A main, but only able to translate the 1-for-1. Trades going back and forth, though, leave us down into a very delicate situation. Ultimately, it looks like Andbox are going to be able to shut things down in their favor and secure a very important pistol for themselves, potentially guaranteeing the lead here, assuming there are no issues on the second round translation.
Great stuff there from Andbox, especially since 100Thieves threw everything at A. I mean, nice transfer there for them, and pistols usually do end up being pretty hectic, but that one just seemed to go all of Andbox's way. There was really no chance for 100Thieves to battle back there. Granted, they were able to get some early picks, especially inside of Wine, but they even got caught off guard by that play. So rolling on over into this next round, it's going to be a full save for them. They try to stack and find some frags.
A little bit of info on Device's position, but nothing major at the end of the day. Just 100Thieves trying to gather that with the recon dart and force back anyone that was going to try to play aggressively in the actual inside of the hallway here. So 100Thieves will just take their orb quickly back away as they do need to play relatively conjoined here in order to make any concerted effort seriously considered into the site. Boy's gonna get some free info for himself here. Only one player spotted, and actually some problems for Ethan in terms of killing the Owl drone, so he gets a second little peek onto the outside of B main before finally losing it to his opponents. Go down. However, Boy, ready for the challenge, immediately shutting down Steel. Gonna go for two. You can see Ethan trying to bait him into the angle so his teammates can trade that out, but it's not too successful. Ye with another lineup, now with the Ghost here as he takes down Nitro. Boy re-engages, but he'll finally meet his match against Hiko. Problem is, Hiko's now alone. 1v3 set before him, and remember, this is still an eco round for them, so he'll get overwhelmed very quickly by Mata. That'll be the 7th tying round going on the board here for Andbox.
Yeah, that was just rough from the jump for 100 Thieves. There's not much you can really do when it's a full save. You got classics and everyone's bearing down on you with Spectres. But, I mean, they still get the ult point for Hiko, and that's a really big deal. I mean, Hiko, one of the best in the business when it comes to this Hunter's Fury, and just Sova overall. So if you're able to get some ult points in the process of a round that you know you're going to lose, I mean, that's just trying to propel you towards a win. So let's see now that we actually have some money in the bank for 100 Thieves, what they're able to do.
Aggression here from Andbox over towards the B main area, and we're going to see the same thing working its way onto the A site as well here. Andbox trying to ensure, for all capabilities, that 100 Thieves do not try to burst their way directly into the site. Mata, some unfortunate timing here, and it's not just him as well. Vice and Seb also in the area. All three of them going down to just a walk-in entry from 100 Thieves on Cat. That's going to give them free control of the A site, completely unchallenged here by Andbox. I don't even really know if they're going to be able to buy for a retake here. Boy having himself the pistol, they might just go for it considering that this is not a full investment round for all players to get. So I don't know exactly what the Muddy's looking like, but already see Ye get shut down. Boy not too far behind either. Zasta's able to find him on the inside of Garden pretty quickly. There you go, 100 Thieves wiping the floor with Andbox. But where does that leave them now? Still in position to rebuy here except for one player, so still should be good going into this next round.
Oh, such a hard opening for both of these squads. The last thing that you assumed was that we were going to get 2 triple stacks over near Tree, but that's exactly what we got right there. 100 Thieves just forced their way up Cat. They really want to try and take control of Tree, and what are they met with? Well, 3 Andbox members, and they're able to kill every single one of them. No trades coming through, and able to flood onto site because of that. Fantastic stuff early on inside of that round, but that's going to bode well for them for the future. Now we have a Hiko with not only the Hunter's Fury, but also the run it back already on Asuna.
Drones out here. Hiko trying to get info. Does spot the one player by Jen. He's got Hunter's Fury ready to follow it up here as well. Should be able to find the lockdown of the Mata. One final shot just being taken to the inside of Tree. He's going to get lucky with one more tag. Not going to happen. And now the problem is that Hunter's Fury response not really finding the damage it needed to. Only tagging Nitro on the 3rd and final shot right there. The 2 remaining players from Andbox once again forced out of the site, forced out of any attempt to stop this take or at least deal damage to the 100 Thieves roster in the process of it, and left with really any option to fully commit themselves to a retake. So they are going to back up to mid, start to commit to a save. Steel knows this. He's already in mid in the meantime here, catching out Ye from top market, shutting him down, leaving only Boy in the fight now.
Man, Boy's going to attempt to save this rifle if it can be done, but obviously Steel might find it, but I don't even think it's going to be him first. It might honestly be Ethan, but he's looking the wrong way. Now towards mid gates, but it's actually going to be Asuna, who's already wrapped back towards attacker side spawn. Cleans that one up, and Andbox are not getting away with any goods.
Definitely not the case. So close for Andbox to potentially take the lead away if they switch over to this defensive side, but unfortunately not happening. 100 Thieves getting off to a great start. Info Ping following it up with the Hunter's Fury. The very solid entries working their way to the inside of Cat, and the unfortunate lack of any impact coming in from Andbox's own Hunter's Fury there sealed the deal. Didn't leave any chance for those 2 players left after the chaos to retake whatsoever. Tried to save, but even that was read by 100 Thieves, and we saw that get shut down too. So there's no way to win, unfortunately, in that previous round for Andbox, no matter which way they tried to play it. Forcing them onto an eco here. Just going to see a couple upgraded pistols, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. Really all they can muster at this point. They need to save money and try and save themselves, but that's not going to work out either. Mata, the first one taken down inside of this round, but Andbox actually working their way back through mid, able to stay alive for the time being. Ye with a nice frag onto Ethan as well inside of B main, so at least they'll get something for their troubles, but what more they'll get is actually a plant, as all of B control in favor of 100 Thieves. Spike going down, and they still have Nitro at tiles. This is looking so good coming into this.
He's trying to teach Nitro, or Ethan, excuse me, a lesson there. Saying, no, I'm the aggressive Sage. I'm the one who does those boosts. But either way, 100 Thieves going to assert great control. This lockdown really sealing the deal, too. Good catches from Nitro as he shuts them all down at the market entry point. 3 players going away. He's going to look for a 4th back over here at spawn route as well. Vice hiding on the inside of a dark cover here, trying to play off of that because he has himself a gun to use here, but not going to work out. Pico's still shutting him down, and 100 Thieves asserting their lead now in double-digit territory.
So Andbox were able to find their footing earlier on. We were at a 6-1 score line. Didn't necessarily think they could turn that half around, but they're faced with it yet again. A 3-round lead for 100 Thieves. Andbox finally back in the money, and that's where they want to be. They need these rifles to try and contest 100 Thieves. Inside of these matchups, obviously on those eco rounds, it's going to be basically impossible. Obviously, you're just trying to get those frags to harm the economy, but I mean, it seems as though once they're later into their half, depending on whatever half it is, they're actually able to figure out what their opponent team is doing. So we'll see if Andbox can do it once again here, or if this is going to continue to be the same song and the same dance.
To play close here from Andbox. This is that aggressive playstyle that I talked about here. Trying to use it to get ahead. The run it back immediately working its way out from Mata, but finding very little success aside from 1 to 2 positions for these players. Trying to buy for a repeat, and he even commits to it off of the info from the Owl drone, but not going to work out. Ethan getting the better of Mata out of that situation, giving 100 Thieves the early advantage yet again. You're in a very important round for Andbox, starting to fall behind. 100 Thieves getting very close to that penultimate point here. Only 2 away from 12 at this point. Paranoia working its way out in the meantime for 100 Thieves, but Ethan not really able to find the right to initiate at least onto the first player. He initiates onto him, but the problem is the 2-stack. Always catching players when you double stack in this corner here, so Seb will be able to find the exchange upon that, and overall force back the aggression from Andbox, forcing them to go for an A plays. This was all a fake. Nitro's gonna be able to port himself in. He still ends up getting caught by Ye after working his way onto the site there. Asta with the quick trade, throws the hot hands onto the ground. Ye's too low to get out of it. Vice as well, though, moving in here very quickly, keeping the pressure on 100 Thieves, disallowing them from getting into a solid post-plant positioning. Asta and Steel now having to both play this from the inside of Hell. Dark cover going to block off the one end. They will put their turret down to act as early alert, specifically to an A main push, but the swing from the door will be caught as well. It allows Asta to take a deeper angle, but if he wants to, there we go. Has to line up against Vice. The run it back is actually caught. He's going to go down on the response as well on the respawn there, but Steel ready to take on the challenge. He shuts down Seb, prevents the clutch, and more importantly, puts the 11th round on the board for 100 Thieves.
Woo, what a burner there. Wow, some incredible stuff going on. I mean, I absolutely loved what 100 Thieves did with Hell right there, especially the telly in from Nitro. Granted, it didn't work out all that well, but he did get the info that was necessary for 100 Thieves to clear the area, and that was a really big deal. We saw Steel and Asuna have an amazing utility combo here, with the hot hands coming in, then the nano swarm on top of that, dealing even more damage to Ye, not able to get out of that hot hands and contest anybody. Some fantastic, fantastic team play going on for these guys.
Coming down to the wire here now for Andbox, trying their best to work their way into it, as we can see a big investment coming in with even Spectres on a couple of players now too, looking at Mata and Boy. Early info once again due to the Owl drone, but you can see due to the gunpowder here, Andbox can't really reckon trying to play aggressive, at least when it comes to B main anymore. He works his way out. Nitro trying to take contact here, but like I said, nobody on Andbox wants the challenge. Pico trying to work out here too, but more just info. Now here comes the pressure. Up on Cat, Steel finds the first pick. Immediately a wild swing for Mata to try to make up for the loss, and it's not going to work. Steel finds that trade as well. Thieves working their way in here. Pre-plant to go in their favor, and Nitro immediately catching the flank from Ye due to the continued tree control. Look at this, it's so smooth from Nitro. Locks onto the head of Seb to take him down also, leaving just Boy now in a 1v5. Pretty much an impossible situation. He'll do what damage he can here, but where does he even start?
It's like 100 Thieves are just so strong on the entry, and Nitro's there on the lurk just to slide the dagger just a little bit deeper in the chest. It's such a hard situation for Andbox to fight back from, and once again, 100 Thieves claim the round. 12-7 right now, and they've looked so dominant, even given Andbox those 7 rounds.
100 Thieves looking to shut this one down here, and unfortunately, due to the forced investment from Andbox in the previous round, they're not going to be looking much better on this one here. We've got multiple Bulldog buys coming in on Ye and Seb. Still going to see a Spectre on Vice. Only 2 real big rifles coming in here as the Phantom purchases are made by Mata and Boy, but aside from that, Andbox are going to have to hope they can scrap their way to a win here and keep them in the running. They now need 5 rounds consecutively. Just to take us into overtime here. 100 Thieves in a great position to shut this one down here and now. You're going to see a bit of aggression from Andbox there towards Amy. That's just to deal with the Alzron, though. But in the meanwhile, a free lurk into mid here for at least one of the players for 100 Thieves. That's going to Steel, I believe, working his way all the way up to market for free. Even counters out the turret from Vice sitting deep in the site, too. So this is going to lead into a very, very quick execute because of all this free control they've been able to get for themselves here. Not a lot of info on the boost, though. That's a little bit dangerous. They've got to be careful of close contention. Thankfully, Ethan finds one at the last second. Boy escapes his gaze, though, but is now going to look for the trade after he picks one up. Never mind. It'll come from Hiko instead. That's full site control going by the way of 100 Thieves. Just need to close out the 4v2, and the map is theirs.
Spike planted.
A scary situation now for Andbox as they face first map point, and Hiko going to make it more difficult. Seb, 1 versus 4 that he must win. The Hunter's Fury already going off as well. Tries to make the play, but Seb cannot even work his way onto site. It's 13-7 in favor of 100 Thieves here on Ascent. All right, well, already opening things up. It'll be 100 Thieves on offense and Andbox on defense to start us off here, and it's a stack towards A, well, at least for showers right now for 100 Thieves, and specifically Nitro, but it's actually Asuna at the front of the pile. Have a boombot come through, but Asuna will deal with that handedly. Still up to Mata here, trying to back off, using that nade. So far, so good from them. It seems like Andbox, a lot of information as to what 100 Thieves are doing. Mata with a heck of a play to try and get across to U-Haul, and he makes it work, avoiding the wall and avoiding getting locked out in what soon could be a terrible situation. But now it's 100 Thieves who get aggressive onto site. They take down one, and they have the spike plant.
Default plant works its way onto the ground here. The members of Andbox trying to work their way back in. They do have a pinch against the Showers position here, but Nitro going to be able to find another kill before finally more impact is made on Andbox's side. The player that went down for Andbox was the other side of that Showers pinch, so no longer is it going to be strong. Seb, the only kill to come from out from the Andbox roster in a while here, is now going to put himself into a 1v2. There's the tag to bring out Hiko, and it works. He even gets the info on Nitro as well, so going to be able to isolate this into the 1v1. He has the turret to assist on info, but now time's getting low. He needs to get aggressive, swing it up. That's a lot of damage going on to him, but he reverses it anyway. Shuts down Nitro. The only question left is if he has enough time, and I think he might have just enough. It's going to be so close here for Seb, but yes, indeed, he does get it in time. And Andbox with 0.78 seconds left on that spike, pick up the pistol.
Well, that's a way to start bind after what we were just witnessing before. Andbox stand up against 100 Thieves after a fantastic plant, able to work their way onto site in excellent fashion, just very explosive. That was really it. After that, though, it was the straight Seb show. I mean, even at 32 HP, still able to clutch things out. That bullet punch just too harsh for Nitro when he did get dinged, so not able to keep that lined up and find that saving bullet. Could have changed that round up for the better if you're 100 Thieves, but now it's 100 Thieves onto Economy. Have to see what they can possibly do here, looking for these frags, and Andbox, to be expected, full Spectre buy.
The aggressive second round investment coming out from them. We've seen 100 Thieves take a lighter touch when it comes to that one, sometimes not fully investing into it, but Andbox are of the opposite camp, saying, nah, we're going to spend all of our money here to really shut you guys down. And so far, that's working out pretty well here. Seb dominating on the inside of Hookah. Boy similarly coming in for the assist there to take down Hiko to make sure Vice would be able to stay alive, Seb as well in that situation there. Steel will at least get some revenge. He'll take down Mata. He's trying his best to work it here with the pistol, but getting pushed, getting pinched, and unfortunately getting killed. Boy will take him down. Andbox will quickly secure that second round, only losing Mata in the process.
And not too big of a deal there for Andbox. And I mean, they were 100 Thieves able to get a frag, but really, what does that mean in the grand scheme of economies, right? They're going to be able to at least limit someone's possible buy, but let's see exactly what can go on with that. Mata actually going to go for the Sheriff. Everyone else locking in those Spectres still. Just want to stay with that money, make their way up towards those rifles. I've been seeing a lot of different cool buys come in on that second round recently as well. Haven't seen anyone do it just yet inside of this series, but we've been seeing some cool things come in from certain squads, like an Ares coming in every once in a while, or even a rifle with a light armor. But this round now popping off already, as we already have a trade go back and forth. That's Mata for Steel.
Yeah, A Short takes direct contact between those two players, and they'll trade each other out, both going down out of that scenario there. Nitro and the rest of 100 Thieves, though, ready to move in very, very quickly through the garden route over here at B main. They'll walk their way in. Seb, ready for the challenge potentially, but Paranoia is going to completely blind him out. See the Nanoswarm work its way in, taking slight amounts of chip damage there. Won't matter much as he gets himself into the engagement, as he's still able to line up the 1-for-1. Ethan on the repeat, though, finds Ye also. Some more big moves coming out here from 100 Thieves to make sure they're able to assert their dominance. Control that site. Mike gonna go working its way onto the ground here. Vice and Void trying to aggressively retake, though. That's what I talked about with Andbox. They don't care about the normal rules of engagement. They don't want to wait for the right time. They want to get in the face of the 100 Thieves roster and try to shut them down. Doesn't end up working out, though. 100 Thieves able to easily counter that one and get a very important first round on the board.
Oh, and this is the round right here. Let's see what they can possibly get done. It's going to be full rifles for both squads, but we believe we could have a possible light armor going down onto Vice. We'll have to see exactly what happens with that. Yes, actually, indeed, it is going to be a light armor here for Vice. That's a really, really big deal. Obviously, on Breach, he'll have to buy most of the utility to try and be supportive of his squad, so he'll have to favor that instead, trying to stack up on anything else. If that comes back to bite him later on, but definitely going to want that utility to try and fight these 100 Thieves members.
Mata potentially going to be first up to bat here on the inside of Showers. Takes down the Boombot, and in the process is going to swing right after that. Flash just not hitting him in the way that it needed to, so Mata will be able to work his way forward. The Showstopper as well, and let's try to get a third. Maybe not. Eco will be able to finally deal with this volley, and at the same time, Steel works his way out through A Short onto the site. Trying to see the info work its way out here as well, revealing Ye, putting him into a delicate position potentially, but he's able to keep himself solid here, hiding behind decent cover. Swing works his way out from Ethan. The Aldrone's going to reconfirm the position of Ye, and now he's got to be careful. The Huntress Shuri locking him into that corner. There's nothing he can do except bow down to Hiko as he's taken out by that ult. Zeb trying to lurk back in here. Really not far behind either. He's waiting back over in the vent, trying to play from there. Zeb with the first contact, though, finds the engagement, gets a dink on the Hiko as well, so he'll be low after that engagement. Boy has to try and work his way in, but no, Hiko already has the angle pre-aimed for him, takes him down, gets his fourth kill on the round, and a second overall round in the game.
What a round from both of these teams. 100 Thieves try to force their way inside of A, Showers, but it doesn't work in their favor at all. Immediate breach flash through the wall, able to take them down, but immediately after, 100 Thieves, instead of just trying to back off and go for a B rotation or something along those lines, what do? Well, they actually force up shorts, and it works out in spades. I mean, we see a beautiful shot come through for Ethan. They take full site control and get the spike down whilst also gaining man advantage. That's not something you see every day, especially when a raise pops off like what we saw from Mata. But now, it seems like we're back into the action already. The shower contention coming through for both squads.
Nebula down on the ground there, so the members of 100 Thieves not able to do anything about that early aggression from Andbox as they work their way in. I mentioned the recon going on, and obviously Mata took some heat as a result of that, but didn't want to go all the way in through the Nebula. Now we're starting to see pressure from 100 Thieves quickly work its way to the inside of Hookah. Boy, potentially ready for the challenge, but there's a lot of damage going on to him. Tries to pick up a kill before going down, but not going to happen, and 100 Thieves just running over this defensive effort here on the eco from Andbox. Seb, the only player left alive. They're even going to revive Nitro. That gets wasted, though, and Seb even gets himself a second before going down. Ultimately, however, 100 Thieves still control the round, now take a very important lead here at 3-2.
That's going to be a touch painful here for 100 Thieves. They'll still be able to buy, but Ethan simply eco-resing there, just trying to get Nitro back a gun so they wouldn't have to rebuy at that point in time. And they would have had fat economy if that would have been able to happen. But Seb, just too good in that moment, able to take down both of them. And 100 Thieves not able to assist quickly enough from inside Hookah. But that's going to be that. We're down to rifles once again here, and Andbox have a chance to get around.
Andbox looking to reassert the lead that they got for themselves early on with a pistol win and the follow-up, and Taiko going into their favor. Took control there, but unfortunately have lost it since. 100 Thieves winning out ever since they've been able to afford their buys. Boy, trying to hold himself off here at a short. We are going to see the wall work its way up, but he's able to still have himself an angle to work with here due to the fact the wall clips slightly onto that box, and that portion gets taken out as a result here. Light attempt still going down. Boy tries to make a play, but he's countered out. Meanwhile, Fox able to hold their flank here, so either kill the flank watch, open up a flank opportunity for themselves to play back in from A short.
Well, spike down now. EBX needs something to go well for him here, as there has not been a single light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, Seb with something, but it could possibly be a train. Watch yourselves inside of these tight corridors as we get hit by anything. Finally, we see the Killjoy ult come out, and it's for Andbox here. Defensive one, but Asuna steps up to the plate with a big swing, takes down two. Showstopper as well. Can it get a third? No, it can't. And I also think that's going to be the defuse for Ye. To be close here. Is he able to get it? Locks it out, and .09! .09! That doesn't happen! That's 2 inside of 1 game!
And 2 out of 3 of these rounds won by Andbox were won on a defuse, and both of them had less than 1 second on the clock for the defuse as well. Andbox having some absolutely insane timing here to just barely clutch out these rounds, and for 100 Thieves, some unfortunate misluck trying to win these rounds out there. Andbox battling their way back into it. Some great play from Ye, as well as the rest of the Andbox roster to shut that one back down, get themselves into the match, and battle back here against 100 Thieves, who were looking to take control up until just that last round.
That's got to be a breaker right there for them. Obviously, probably not for 100 Thieves. All of these players have been around the block quite a few times, but that's definitely one of those mental things. Just, come on, man, we can't get one. We've delayed for so long. Just as it showed here, well, actually, no, as soon as I say that, already some action inside of the A site, as we have Asuna already inside of heaven, as Andbox try to work their way back in. It's a plant yet again, and they're waiting for the retake.
Andbox trying to play this off site, but the position of Asuna going to come back to bite them. In the meantime, Ethan as well catching a surprise kill on Boy, I believe towards Lamps. So Asuna having to go back in to check for that. Andbox actually making quite the effort to work their way back in, though, considering all the control that 100 Thieves had leading up to their plant. They're still very much in this, but Ethan, he's a rock here, sitting on the outside of the Lamps, and he can't be stopped. Vice to cause problems here. The fault line working its way in. It'll stun out the player sitting in Lamps. Tico can't do anything to stop that either. And Ethan, some unfortunate timing as he looks away just as Vice goes for the entry through the door. And this is going to be another close defuse here for Andbox. I'm pretty sure they've got this one this time. There'll be a lot more time left on the clock. 3.7 seconds this time. Much safer. And more importantly, much more in the lead as they actually have it now at 4-3.
Just to show y'all what the difference is between a round where the diffuser goes off at the very last second and something where you have 3 seconds. The average human reaction time is 0.23 seconds. So when you see things with like 0.78 and stuff like that, that's actually just like insane. It's such a close margin to actually exploding. It's practically impossible. But 100 Thieves run it back onto A here. I mean, that's some crazy stuff. They immediately go for the plant again. They go for a very, very similar play, able to get the spike down in the exact same location. But this time around, Andbox don't try to go for the early aggression. Instead, waiting, biding their time, and go for the retake. And it goes off with flying colors. 100 Thieves not able to get the frags early on necessary. And now onto the save round for them. They're able to get one, but Mata immediately refrags.
Great weighted aggression working its way out into the B mid here. The problem is they're being flanked, but I'm not sure if they've caught it just as of yet here. The push already working its way out garden onto the site. Oh no, here's another problem. Steel making some big impact here. He's going to throw the cage out to allow him to escape and wrap back around. They know the garden route is clear for the taking. Nitro's already got dark cover down on Hookah, so there's not going to be an immediate retake from Mata and Vice. They have to wait this one out, potentially try to counter flank the players working their way over towards Long out onto the site now. And as well, the only other player they're going to have in this engagement is still way over on A, waiting for a call to jump in the portal. So this is going to be a potentially very one-dimensional retake from Andbox here. And that can cause some serious problems considering they're going to have the dark cover capability. That's going to get re-thrown down. The attempt to hop out of it with blast packs. We're going to see the Hunter's Fury working its way out here to try and confirm this. But Mata making impact up until he gets behind the box, that is. Finally going down to Ethan. Info working its way out here as well. They're going to be able to act on that, but no. Steel taking down Boy, leaving it all on Vice here. Vice with a great transfer, but unable to take down Ethan. Just too consistent here from him as he prevents what would have been an absolutely incredible clutch. And more importantly, solidifies another tie point for 100 Thieves.
Ooh, that flash point right there was so scary for 100 Thieves. Beautiful, beautiful stuff from Vice, but just cannot get it done. Too many targets inside of that area. And what a round for 100 Thieves right there. Turn the eco into something magical, especially with the ult game coming through. Able to lock down the plant for an even longer period of time, as well as finding those earlier frags to actually get some proper firepower. Steel picking up that rifle and making it work. 100 Thieves really bringing it to Andbox right now, and it seems like Bind is going to be a lot more back and forth.
Some good HL timing here. Should make impact. Asuna trying to get to the other side of it, but only ends up splitting him off from Hiko. Hiko's sitting behind a Nebula as well, but that's going to get pulled away here. Mata really chasing Hiko down. You're not getting away, my friend, as Mata picks up the showstopper kill, bringing it down to just 3 here for 100 Thieves. But they make impact. They make their mark known at Garden, and that's going to really pinch Ye, forcing him to stay on the inside of Hookah here. He will get a rotate from Mod, and it doesn't look like the other player that was out at mid for 100 Thieves is going to try and rotate back in and pinch on that. Just going to play in the site here. So 100 Thieves got to be careful. There's already a lot of pressure working its way onto them. 8 shells reignited from Mata there. He's able to fully get a kill this time with it. But Ethan, again, the important player here, still picking up the trade. Steel falls on the site, and now it's all down to Ethan from the elbow here. Diffuse already well in effect from Mata. Third player actually isolated out. Doesn't have a great angle onto elbow here. He's going to pick up the kill, but unfortunately still way too much time wasted on trying to get out in the open. There are way too many unknowns for Ethan to play off of. So the Diffuse is well taken care of before he even is able to fully swing from elbow.
Very hard round there for 100 Thieves. Didn't have the manpower on site to keep Andbox away. Didn't really have control of the back areas as well, especially over towards Hookah, and that's really what ended up biting them. Got some nice frags early on with Ethan, and he had control of elbow, but that didn't really translate into all too much. But still, great offense there from 100 Thieves, able to get that spike down. So we'll see what they try and set up for this time around, as it's going to be quite a weird round indeed. Steel and Ethan, both with Vandals, but we have a Frenzy, Ghost, and Classic setup for Asuna, Hiko, and Nitro. This could be a pretty crazy one. Ye's popping us off right now, though, so we already have the early engagement, and it's going to go Andbox's way. The second one as well is Boys manning Garden. He takes down one, looking for the second. Ethan swings wide, and that slots in nicely as well. Could have seen the barrel there for just a second. Does he have the read on Nitro? Oh no, such a poor time to Telly, and Nitro tries to work his way out of Garden, but immediately gets caught off guard. Andbox with a very quick round 10.
Andbox leaving themselves in a good position here. 6-4 overall inside of the half. Definitely making their mark when tied of the early round, which was that problem we were talking about back on Ascent that they had been struggling with. They were kind of being forced into the play style that 100 Thieves wanted them to play. This time, they're dictating the pace. They're forcing 100 Thieves into their own game, and it's definitely showing results here. How much so is still going to be the question. We got 2 rounds left. The possibility for Andbox to solidify an 8-4 half, still very much alive and in the cards, but 100 Thieves know that as well, and they're not going to be too happy if that's the result. So let's see what they have for the revenge plan on round number 11.
Well, Ye, forward contact. Oh, gets a lot of information on that spike. Asuna picked that up as well when he crossed. And Ye, such a strong position, almost with a quad, but gets a triple instead. Still lights out when it comes to shutting down this push. 100 Thieves now with only Hiko and Asuna, but they're still going to give it a shot. Asuna walks in, he claims Boy's life for his own, and slams this spike down.
Asuna waiting for the contact, and he's potentially going to get it very quickly, but the showstopper denied by the doppelganger. Mata taking him down and leaving it all onto Hiko here in a post plant. 1v3 does have both dark types if he wants to try and play off of that here, but no, he wants the contact instead, and that'll be a mistake. Vice takes him down. Andbox secure a 7th and are now well in the lead for the half, with one opportunity to really push that envelope as the final round of the half is coming up right here.
So 100 Thieves finally running into some problems with the early aggression from Andbox. This time around it being Ye inside of Sand. And what a play from him. I'm assuming that's exactly what we're going to see here. I mean, this was just read so well by them. Able to...
Realistically, should have got more out of that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Yeah, almost the quad kill there if the spray pattern favored him, but just was not there for him. But still, I mean, it was a nice attempt there from 100 Thieves, but nothing really going their way. A lot of these ults starting to hit their mark, and they just can't seem to find the early info they need on what Andbox is doing.
Oh, Andbox going to keep up the aggression. No need to slow it down, especially when they have these constant nebulas being sent out pretty much immediately at the beginning of every round. They want to try and take that contact on the inside of Showers. Soon and the rest of 100 Thieves are used to this by now, so it's business as usual for them as they'll owl drone their way to the inside of that. Paint Shells is going to hold back the immediate take. At the same time, they're leaving themselves open for a short push here. They're well aware of that, though. Showstopper even out from Mata, but it's going to get sent out. Deals decent damage to Suna from the looks of things. Fails to kill him, though. In the meantime, Ye, partial rotate from him to get off that Hunter's Fury, trying to punish the pressure working its way out from 100 Thieves onto a short. It'll work. It's going to force 100 Thieves back. Most of their push now being centered on the B take, but even that's going to get scouted early by Steel here, or excuse me, as Steel will get scouted out by Ye. And whether the team's going to react to that or not is still yet to be seen. Only Steel has been spotted, only one player seen, so no call is going to come in until all this utility is used. Might be too late for Ye, but he's still able to go 1-for-1. Problem is, though, we're in an even fight. 100 Thieves have full sight control. Great paranoia timing coming out here as well. That's going to blind out Mata, guaranteeing the kill for Asuna. Trade works its way in. Steel will get rezzed back up here as the chaos is going to continue, and we are still in a 4v4, all things considered here.
All treacherous now, but actually, seems as though
excuse me, that's the UI.
The cake was a lie. The cake was a lie. That's what happened.
I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, but... Sorry about that.
Everyone's dying, but they're still alive. What's going on? 100 Thieves, though, able to get the round. I thought you were going to say something, buddy. I'm so sorry.
That's my one big mess up for the day. We'll take it.
You're fine, man. You're fine. You know, early days here, John. Early days. I haven't done this before. You've only done this like one time, but we're having a great time nevertheless, and we're having some fantastic series so far to commentate over. I mean, you can't not be happy when you're commentating this kind of matchup between 100 Thieves and Andbox. 7-5 at the split. 100 Thieves not able to get around Andbox on their defensive half, and I honestly have to put this up to the amount of reads that Andbox was able to get on these situations, whether it be through owl drones or just straight up walking at 100 Thieves a handful of times. Now the aggression coming through for Andbox once again, this time on the pistol round, and they're able to make it work. Two big frags inside of Showers.
100 Thieves say, okay, you guys want to play contact to Showers every round? We can do that too. Nitro going directly to the inside here. Taking stance. Now Vice going to be able to sneak up in front of him. That jump will have been heard on the other side. Their flashpoint out, and it works. Do the right click on the jump to be able to seal the deal against Nitro. And also get back control over the spike. The aggressive roster on Andbox here now as well. Not going to commit themselves to the A site, though. You can notice here, Ye has already lurked himself out onto B for free. So just going to call for his teammate to go all the way around. There's currently no info on this for 100 Thieves, so Ye is going to be allowed to go all the way up to the defender route as well, giving him great control over his opponents. And actually, this is interesting. It's evolving a little bit here for 100 Thieves, just considering the fact they have this potential to pinch out. I'm not sure if Andbox realized this is happening to them just as of yet. They're working their way out through short, so they're actually going to leave the site completely and allow for Andbox to take it through the vent and showers positions and get this site basically for free, because you can see it on the minimap there. 100 Thieves are long gone. They're not turning around. They're still going to be until they realize it right now that they've made the fatal mistake. Ethan hears that, immediately turns tail, and they're going back.
So you want to know how we got here? That's what Ethan's thinking right now. His beautiful fake there by Andbox. I mean, that was really the opportunity they needed to try and get a spike down. You see 100 Thieves already ready for the opposite push, but now the trades ensue. We're down to the 1v1. Steal, the right click, so strong right now, and he also gets the ghost. Very low HP for Vice. A single bullet deals the damage to take him down. Oh, amazing gauge here from Steel. That'll block out the flash points. The blast point won't be able to. No, it does! He can't get away from it! Steel, it's too much damage, and Vice wins it from the utility.
the aftershock just barely having the angle onto Steel there. It even looked like he was relatively safe going into the corner. I saw the warning go away for a second, it looked like, but apparently not. Still is able to deal damage to him and take him down. Great usage of the utility from Vice there in order to clutch that one out. Knew he was in a dangerous position after he got himself dinked upon, taking contact outside of lamps. Knew it wasn't going to be a good idea to try to take contact again and potentially suffer the same exact fate. So he plays it back, plays off of his utility. Steel, to his credit, does try to do the same exact thing, but is just not able to find a safe corner to avoid that damage and ends up going down.
Those little one-on-one engagements where you see the biggest big brain plays with utility, I swear. Obviously, we have a lot of good combos that happen inside of Valorant, and those are some amazing fun as well. But when you see something like an aftershock kill, that's something that you never see with Breach. I can't even remember the last time that I saw somebody die to that. So now for Andbox, mostly focused on, well, every aspect of the map, as you'd assume, as they're on offense right now, just trying to see currently where 100Thieves are lying, and the entire squad currently on B as they're trying to force their way out of Garden, and it works. That means they're also going to have a firearm going into the later half of this round. Mata, possible cutoff here. He's able to find Asuna. He's immediately going to vacate the premises. They know the spike's going down on A, and he'd much rather assist his team.
Boy, potentially with a good lineup here against Steel, too. But Steel, man, he's been on fire today, and he's going to keep that going. Shutting down Boy on the inside of Showers. Keeping 100Thieves in this retake. You know, the Andbox roster trying to fight aggression with aggression as they wildly swing two of their players out through short to try and take care of that retake. It does not pan out, though. 100Thieves win the large majority of the fights. Will still keep 3 players alive upon completing the retake and solidifying their 6th round. Thrifty going to be coming out for them as well there.
And not only a thrifty, but a dastardly one at that. 100Thieves full stack B site, flood out of Garden, frag out one guy in long, and then simply steamroll their way back towards A, picking up frags all along the way, getting new guns. I mean, look at this right now. You can see Steel is the only one that actually has a rifle. Everyone is down to pistols and trying to contest these Spectres and other SMGs. This is a very difficult thing for them. So for them to be able to pull off that round, that's a huge deal for 100Thieves' future on this defense.
This is that aggression that we were talking about for Andbox, where they throw themselves at their opponent, sometimes to their own deficit, as we just saw in the previous round there. But that's the strategy they sometimes live and sometimes die by as well, as we just saw there. So that is going to more than likely continue over the course of this matchup. Not so much in this round, unfortunately, for Andbox, considering their economy situation here. Just pistols to play off of in this round, so we're going to see a much more aggressive 100Thieves as a result of that. The swing out through B main, get some control over the orb for themselves. Seb, though, with a nice response on the inside of Showers, to be able to destroy Asuna there, taking him down and keeping us even in a 4v4.
I guess the good news is 100Thieves have control of the Vandal, and they're going to try and frag out for it, but it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. There's nebulas everywhere, dark cover, it doesn't matter. Andbox cannot close the distance to get close enough to actually have any effect on these 100Thieves members. Yeah, pretty cool single tap inside of Showers, but it's not going to matter at the end of the day. 100Thieves just too strong with the weaponry.
100Thieves only 1 round away now from tying this back up again at 8-8 and being able to take the lead away from Andbox. Keep in mind, 100Thieves already has the advantage in this series, up 1-0 from the previous map, a 13-7 win on Ascent. They take this one, it's over. Andbox is heading down to the lower bracket, and 100Thieves are 1 step closer here to Challenger's final. A little bit more hesitant this time on some of the initial posturing from the Andbox roster. Ye being very cautious as he swings the long angle and tries to make sure there isn't a push from 100Thieves to try to take control of the orb, or more importantly, take down these players. Now trying to take control of this themselves. Ye will spot out Steel, knows he's going to be holding inside of the garden position. Steel gets tagged, so he'll re-peek out. But in the meantime, Ethan doing a solid job holding on top of the B-site pipe, taking down the first attempt from Andbox to get control of Hookah.
Is it going to be Fault Line, or are we going with the Rolling Thunder? Yeah, I assume that it is. I mean, my Breach play, I'm not trying to say, you know, I'm a Breach main or anything like that, but definitely not the case for me, let me tell you. But either way, definitely has that Rolling Thunder, and it's a big threat when it comes to any take ever. Such an amazing ult, but doesn't really matter when you have Steel still shooting like this. That Bulldog's still in hand and as effective as ever. Nitro's gonna ult, but seemingly canceling that and staying inside of U-Haul. This is still a perfect setup for 100 Thieves. No real reason to change it up as they continue to take it to Andbox.
Yeah, Nitro just using the ult for info there as far as I can tell, and really leaving Andbox in a position where I don't even think they're going to make an attempt now. This is a long rotate. They might just be trying to... Oh, yeah, they're saving from what I can tell here. So this is it. Andbox completely giving up on round 16. That's going to be 100 Thieves having a very, very solid hold, specifically on the B side of the map there, where they were able to shut down multiple pushes from Andbox, whether it be the attempts to work their way up long or even trying to get their way inside of Hookah. All of it shut down by the B team there between Ethan and Steel, doing some great work in order to control that. So 100 Thieves tie us up at 8-8. These two players from Andbox will conserve their weaponry going into the next round, but it's still not going to leave them in a great position, as the other three players will only be able to upgrade over onto Sheriffs.
Yeah, and that's going to leave them really worse for wear when it comes down to it. That last round was supposed to go completely different for Andbox, and it was really the pressure to Garden from 100 Thieves that shut all of that down. I mean, Andbox, they had the opportunity. They actually end up stacking over on B for the obvious execute, and it was all supposed to pop off with Vice sending in that Rolling Thunder, but Mata dies trying to claim space inside of Hookah, and that's exactly why we started to see them back off. They didn't have their main entry there that could actually follow up on that Rolling Thunder. It was just not going to be nearly as effective to just try and save it for a round down the line or a possible retake if needed. As for 100 Thieves, though, going pretty well, I'd say. I mean, they really haven't had to change up too much. We've seen some pretty cool stacks from them so far throughout this series, but nothing too big just yet to call home about. Just really big multi-frags coming along across the board.
So first half or so of the round going by, relatively uneventful. Actually a pretty passive round, all things considered, to what we've had up until this point in the series here. Steel, of course, ready for the challenge once again at Garden, should we end up seeing this stack from Andbox work its way in towards the B site. They do need to rotate their spike carrier into position, as well as one other player, so that's the current explanation for the holdup on the Andbox side of things. Gonna move in pretty soon, though. Oh, and this wall couldn't have come at better time. 100 Thieves immediately trying to deny that presence and forcing out at least some of the firepower from his opponents. Look at this play from Steel inside of his own cage to pick up two before going down. Great intel going their way as well. Hookah control did work its way into the hands of Andbox, but that's all they got. Seb, the only player alive again, as 100 Thieves completely shut down this take. They're going to take themselves onto a 9th round here.
Well, Andbox get forceful with the Rolling Thunder, excuse me. Doesn't work out for him very well, though. Are going to have a plant here by Seb, so at least get some money off of that, but he can't find the frag onto Nitro, who's already rotated over into A. That's yet another round here for 100 Thieves as they continue to link them together. Also going to give that ult point on over to Hiko as he's now one off from that Hunter's Fury. So nice setup from 100 Thieves and really no troublesome rounds so far for them, at least in like the last 3 to 4.
Definitely the case here. 100 Thieves really controlling the pace of this game, just like they had been doing on Ascent, and that's the dangerous thing. Andbox did have some leverage over this previously, especially looking at the last half, but haven't really seen that transition too well into the attacking side just as of yet here. Ever since we got into that second half, 100 Thieves really starting to take over, came back pretty much immediately, and now has the lead by 1 round over Andbox here, potentially looking to knock them down into the lower bracket if they can close out for just 4 rounds. Boost up here for Ethan. Obviously, Suna doesn't need that, as he'll just pop himself up there, the blast pack, but going to take more aggressive positions this time against the potential short run. Well, that's not where the pressure is going to be coming from. For those of you, of course, who can't already notice it, we got a 3-player stack on the inside of Showers. 2 holding back on short, waiting for notice here, but 8 shells from Asuna going to go in there a little bit too late, but thankfully the cover is there. Trade's going to work themselves all over the place. Ultimately, it's brought down to the wire here. A couple players just left standing. Only 1 left standing here now for 100 Thieves. The pressure's enough. They get their way into the site. And Steel, the only player left standing. If there was going to be someone to come out in the clutch, though, Steel might be the one to do it. He's been having a great match so far, but not to be the case inside of this round. Mata has the position. Red takes him out on the inside of the vents before he can even wrap the corner.
Finally, the aggression works out for Andbox. It was a full frontal assault onto A. Not a single player even set up for B. It was always an A take the entire time. They were not going anywhere else. So nice split take from them overall, especially with how they handled showers. That was the biggest thing for me coming into that round. 100 Thieves had a really nice setup to be able to handle not only showers, but also short from a pretty cool angle over on the U-Haul truck with the ice wall boost. But again, just did not work out for them. More than likely won't see that one again, at least inside of this round, as it will more than likely be read out by Andbox. But very nicely done by them, and great job on shutting down the retake by 100 Thieves.
Andbox looking to take control over this map. They have to take control over this map here. Switching to a much more passive style for the opening moments of the round seems to have worked, at least for that previous round. So once again, they'll set themselves up for it, try to go for a more all-in sort of take here. Hunter's Fury out from Hiko, and he's got the lineup, but at the same time, there's another Hunter's Fury on the other side. Bit of a laser battle here between the two Sovas. And as well, Cosmic Divide working its way in. Suna won't pay any respect to that, goes right past it, works his way forward with the showstopper and shuts it down, or at least tries to shut down the push. Ultimately not going to be able to get a lot of damage. Paint shells into the corner too, sees the gun from Mata, and gets a quick execution onto him. As 100 Thieves are continuing to put pressure onto Andbox, force them out before they've even begun their execute.
You should run.
And previous round, 100 Thieves backed off, let off the gas just a touch, but this time fighting fire with fire once again, and it's working out so well for them. Attacker Killjoy down now as Andbox attempt to work their way onto A. They push out of the dark cover. Vice with 2 nice shots and a triple on the round now, but Asuna here to still hold onto his space. Able to get one, but now seemingly a plant possibility here for Andbox. All down to Ethan here for 100 Thieves inside of this 1 versus 2. He is going to get the res down now, though, so they're going to know his location. Fault line through. Doesn't do too much, though. Will just delay time and allow Vice to make it to plant.
Still Rolling Thunder ready here for Vice as well, so we could potentially chuck that out. It's going to go right towards Heaven after he hears the noise. Ethan tries to dodge it, but just gets the edge of it. Forced into a corner and shut down by Vice himself. Hiko left alone now on the inside of Heaven here, trying to play it off. Vice gets the close angle, but that's a mistake. He exposes himself, and Hiko gets the second as well. In the clutch, a 3K on the round. He knows you had to pop off for that one, too. Plenty of time left for this defuse. 100 Thieves going up to 10.
And that right there, folks, is exactly why you res your teammates in those clutch situations. Hiko, dead as a doornail when it came down to what was happening inside of that round until Ethan brings him back from the void, and Hiko makes it worth his while. What a play from him, not only from the Hunter's Fury, but also for the 1v2 clutch. And who better to do it inside of North America?
Absolutely the case here. Andbox, a momentary glimmer of hope a couple rounds back as they're finally able to scavenge another attacking round for themselves. They're first on the half, if memory serves me correctly as well here, but immediately losing that translation. Look at the buy they have going into the 20th round here. It's not looking great. 3 rifles for themselves. Mata at least going to be able to justify a Spectre purchase here too. I think he was on a Bulldog a second ago, and that actually allows them to get that 3rd rifle. But Seb going to be down, only having the Sheriff to play off of here. So we're getting to the desperation point, it seems, for Andbox. They've got to turn the tide soon. Otherwise, we could be looking at 100 Thieves with full control over this series.
Yeah, these last 2 rounds are of the utmost importance to both of these squads and who was going to end up winning this. We saw initially earlier on when we were talking about Vice's Rolling Thunder that once he had used it and it didn't go off too well, weren't able to get the round. They actually got quite a few ults off of that play, but 100 Thieves were already set up for Asuna and Hiko to get theirs, as well as Steel and Ethan already having them. So it was going to be an ult exchange back and forth while trying to divide for economy. It just seemingly did not break in Andbox's favor. Could not get these rounds together, and now we're here. They have to try and save. Steel's going to get some damage off as he starts to pressure down B long. Sells an opportunity in Fountain, takes down Boy, can go for 2, and he'll do so. Might as well hold the door open for him if you're Andbox. Still have an opportunity to claim some lives over on A as well, as it's a feeding frenzy over this offense.
Mata comes in with a momentary trade as he retakes B mid control for his team. Potentially going to be able to swing out here and retake Fountain control into long also, since Ye will be grouping up with him here. Ethan still trying to swing check this though. You can see the little jumps, gets the info he needs. He doesn't need to do that again. Now he can sit back, play to the inside of Garden. He knows the pressure's working its way over to B from at least Ye. And that will draw a cautionary, slow-rotated teams from the rest of the team over the next couple moments there. Ethan with a good shutdown against Ye brings it all onto Mata here. He can't get anything done either. Ethan just too solid in this situation. He gets the 11th for 100 Thieves. They're now sitting only 2 rounds away from shutting out this match.
100 Thieves with a perfect read on the economy situation and pressure when it was needed. Boy, even trying to leave the area, but it just could not happen. Steel coming up in a big way here for 100 Thieves, and the rest of the squad able to lock things down when it came to that last little push. That ice wall boost from Nitro there, extremely scary as well. What an angle.
Very, very scary indeed here. 100 Thieves sitting in a great position for Andbox. Pretty much the worst it could be right now, if we're going to be honest about ourselves here. They're down on the pistols, forcing into the previous round. They can't justify doing it again here, as it would just continue to get worse and worse and worse. So only going to have the Sheriffs, and in Boy's case, a Ghost to play off of here. Going into what ultimately could be the penultimate round here. Things continue to drift into 100 Thieves' court. Ethan still going to be rock solid, sitting up on top of the pipe there. Quickly shuts down Ye. Rest of the team won't even dare to peek that at this point in time, as we're also going to get a slow warp down on the ground to deter the rest of the pace from Andbox here. However, not only playing for B, we do have a bit of a lurk going on from Seb, and he's slightly supported from A short, but in no immediate way, though. Seb will have to be very cautious with any aggression he tries to throw out here, as he's pretty much on his own with regards to the actual fight.
And all of Andbox currently just standing at the gates of 100 Thieves on both sites, just trying to find any of these frags, but 100 Thieves not showing face at all. Do not want to give up these rifles. They'd much rather just have Andbox sit on the timer and wait it out, and you cannot fault them for that at all. But speaking of faults, Breach now here, Flashpoint out, he's dead. Boy soon to follow if he keeps peeking like this. Nitro still ripping him to shreds through the box, and Boy finally falls, as it's all down to Mata for Andbox.
Mata, the big man on campus here, trying to clutch out the 1v5 with just a measly little Sheriff here. Trying his best. It's actually a great angle to try and peek it from. He's got the right idea, just can't find the lineup. Never mind. There's the pop-off onto Nitro. Only 8 seconds left here, though. Paint Shell's going down. He's just having himself a bit of a fragging round here now at this point. No way that he can win it, but ultimately still able to pick up some kills as Suna finally shuts that one down and solidifies the 12th round for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, that round was not going Andbox's way, no which way or how. Even with those 2 frags coming in and grabbing that rifle with the Suna on flank, it's just too many people at too many different angles. And now 100 Thieves, once again, fully in control of the map here on Bind. Andbox need 3 to force us into overtime, and even if they can take this, we still have Icebox on the docket if they actually secure the win here. 100 Thieves on their possible penultimate round. See what we can possibly do. Let's open things up. Andbox mostly focused on A for the time being. We're all opening our real show right now to have any concern about A as they start to force their way up short. Oh man, Asuna, or excuse me, Mata, all the way out onto the field. It's actually Asuna with the frag, and Asuna with the long-range RPG as well. The showstopper comes out to play, and it's an explosive finish. He goes even farther, paint shells in, deals damage to Seb, and it's Nitro that actually gets taken down as he was simply just manning the angle. Asuna continues to spray through the smoke and finds these frags.
No control over the spike even really to play off of here, sitting right in front of the portal. Seb gets himself out of the corner at least, and all of a sudden we've got a round in front of us with that pick here. We're into a 2v2. 100 Thieves, okay, never mind. Shut it down very quickly. Ethan and Steel immediately trade out the loss of their teammate.